Monday Bon, Karen Onco, Aka. Hi, my name is Karen Onco. I'm of the Kiowa Tribe, and I said I'm very happy to see you today. I'm going to be talking about the clothing of my tribe. The clothing a lot of times is made by the individual person, or it is made by a family member, or it is given to you by someone. I'm going to start with the male portion first, and I will start with the shoes. A long time ago, you could tell tribes used to could tell what other tribes were around them by their shoes. And that sounds strange, but we all make our moccasins different. And a lot of times the bottoms are made different too. So a Kiowa could tell another tribe's moccasins prints in the ground by the way the imprint was made in the ground. Kiowa's moccasins a lot of times have fringe on the side. The males have two bead lines going down. And it also has fringe, and it used to have long fringe at the end. We don't do that anymore, but we did had the long fringe so that whenever they were walking around, that fringe would drag and hide their track marks. And so that's why the Kiowas made it. These were one of my grandson's early shoes. When they're born, the first thing we usually do is make them moccasins, or a relative makes them a moccasin so that they can wear them from an early stage. I didn't bring the cradle board, but we put the babies in cradle boards at the very beginning. I have one cradle board, and all my grandchildren but one have been in that cradle board. But again, this is the male moccasin. The female moccasin does not have these lines. We also have societies who have ceremonial items. One of them is called ohoma, and ohoma just requires mainly just a shirt, leggings, or sometimes not even leggings, but a skirt, which is this one right here, a skirt. And when they dance, they use the bells, and that's it. No roaches, no anything. The ohoma is very basic. Today, though, they've kind of modernized it a little bit, and a lot of times they'll wear more things, but that used to be the old one. Another ceremonial we have is called the gourd clan, or thiope. They use a blanket. This was my grandson's very first blanket, and the two colors that we have are dark blue, or black, and red. They wear a sash around their waist, and they tie it from right to left. They have a gourd, and the gourd, this was my grandson's first little gourd, so you can see how young he was. Whenever I started him, he was like 3 years old, and then he went up to about 7 and 8 years old, and now he has the older versions. They also have, when they dance with a feather, and I'm going to talk about the feathers for just a minute, because the feathers are very, very precious to us. It comes from the eagles. This is the wing of an eagle, and a lot of times we will decorate our fans with beadwork. Sometimes they don't, because they don't want to ruin it, but a lot of times we do. The eagle has different kinds of feathers. We have the bald eagle, we have a mature eagle, we have a young eagle, and then you have the wing feathers, and you have the breast feathers, and we use the breast feathers, what we call the plumes, and then a lot of times the ladies will wear the plumes in their hair. And this one is it's a young eagle. And this one was given to my daughter when she was Kiowa princess. The women are really not supposed to touch feathers, especially when we're dancing. And even the men, if they drop a feather, we have to have a veteran come and pick it up for us. The women are given feathers to wear today. This was given to my daughter by a Kiowa elder whenever she became princess. And then these two feathers were given, one was given to my son to wear, and this one, I believe, was given also to my daughter. Feathers are, you have to be an Indian to have to carry the feathers. If you take a feather that you don't, and you're not a Native American, you can get fined. So when we want feathers, we have to order it from an agency that will, when the eagle dies, they provide us with the dead eagle, and then we use those feathers to make our regalia. If I'm traveling in the United States, I have to, and if they ask me about the feather, I have to have my card to prove that I'm Native American in order for me to be carrying a real feather. Now, we make a lot of our stuff with I don't want to say, but it's imitation feathers now. But if you are really fortunate, you're able to use feathers in your regalia, the actual feathers from the eagle. Another thing that for the male is that goes with the dancing is the bells. The bells make a sound. It keeps rhythm with the drum. It provides us, if you ever hear it's really powerful when they enter the arena with all the bells going. I mean, it stays with the drum. It just really is really powerful. Another thing is we have there's another style of dancing called, we call it feather dancing. And the boys, when my boys started dancing, we asked them to pick colors. The colors that they pick normally goes with them throughout their life. Sometimes they will change their color, but one grandson wanted this colors, yellow, black, and white. So his twirlers, his bustles, everything was made to match those colors. Another grandson wanted his colors to be red, yellow, and white or orange. So everything that we made for him, he has two bustles, a top bustle and a lower bustle. We color coordinated, and then those were his colors, and he still keeps those colors today. Another thing that the men wear is a roach on top of their head. The Kiowas actually got this from other tribes, but they can be made out of horsehair or porcupine quills. I have one at home that is porcupine, but this one is the horsehair one. Also, the men will wrap their hair. They originally are the ones that wrap their hair, and they use different types of fur they wear. That can be mink, it could be otter. I have an otter, I have a mink, and today the women wear that, and the reason why we wrap our hair a lot of times is for protection. It keeps the hair from blowing around, and it also just, keeps the hot sun and everything and the dust off of the hair. So a lot of times we use this like so. And the men do also. They'll braid their hair and then wrap their hair in otter or mink. The men also wear what we call leggings. It's made a lot of times out of hide, has fringe on the side. You wear it, they put each one on each leg, and then it's held in place with a belt or a string of some kind. And then, of course, their shirts go over it. One issue that we have that's very important is the war bonnet. A long time ago, the males had to earn feathers. They earned their feathers by doing deeds, by going to war, by servicing the people or something along that line. Each of the feathers had to be earned. And then when they got enough feathers together, they made a cap. And the cap became what we call the war bonnet. And you will see pictures of, chiefs. They call them, the chiefs or the leaders wearing those war bonnets. Some of them will trail, some of them will trail all the way down to the ground, and then some of them will be shorter like this. At the end of the feather, you put horsehair. They have horsehair. We use otter on the sides or ribbon work, and then, of course, bead work. Now, the controversy today is, should women be wearing it? we're a northern tribe, and the way our culture is that a woman can wear her husband or her child's or her son's war bonnet. When he came back from war or from a battle, he would put it on her while she danced, because we had certain women dances. We have a scalp dance, victory dance. Those are all done by the women. So if the male puts it on the female relative, she can dance with it during that time. But other than that, we're not supposed to wear the war bonnet unless we're doing those ceremonials. So a lot of times you will see people just, on TV and on commercials, these women wearing all these war bonnets. It bothers us because to us that's stereotypical and it doesn't go with our culture. So it's very important to know that the war bonnet was special, and it was male. It was for the males, and they earned those feathers that they wore on their head.